Bannaddini bangi kw'ossa ne bannabyabufuzi ab'enjawulo emirundi mingi balabikiddeko mu butambi obw'enjawulo nga batwakaavu nga bennyamivu nga balaga obutali bumativu n'obutali bwenkanya ng'entabwe bagiteeka ku poliisi ya kuno amagye agatukuuma kw'ossa ebitongole ebikuumaddembe eby'enjawulo bagamba mbu poliisi n'amagye bikoze kyamaanyi nnyo okutyobola eddembe ly'obuntu nga batta abantu ab'enjawulo abatalina musango oba nga batta abantu kagenderere abatalina musango gulina kubeera nga battibwa. Fact check tuli ku episode ya 23 akaleero ka njawulo. Ngenda kusaba taata maama okkalire. Amanya n'eddoboozi bampita Ashba Kato aka Big Fish na Small Pond. Katono nnyo. Nsaba nsooke nkuwa eddoboozi lya munnaddiini lino then oluvannyuma nzijje nkatandike mu butongole. Tovaako.
Research battanga abantu owulidde ekitegeeza nti ye kyekyamunyiza n'agenda ki mu nsiko. President alinda tumugambe nti aba UPDF batta abantu, alinda tumugambe nti LDU etta abantu, alinda tumugambe nti police etta abantu.
Fact check. Awo wennyini wenjagala nkatandikire. Nkugambye my name is Big Fish in a Small Pond. Neyagala bweyagazi bampise Ashba Kato. Akaleero ka njawulo. Oyo gw'owulidde sajja munnaddiini aweeka ekitiibwa gwe bayise Sheikh Nuhu Muzaata batte. Mu kavidiyo ako agamba nti President Museveni alinze tumale kumugamba nti amagye gatta abantu ye takiraba. President Museveni alinze tumale mugamba nti abapoliisi n'aba LDU batta abantu ye takiraba. Ye argument ya Sheikh Nuhu Muzaata. Ngera bweri argument ya Bobi Wine, argument ya bannabyabufuzi ab'enjawulo abali ku ludda oluvuganya gavumenti. Mwabulaba obutambi obw'enjawulo omukulu Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu bwe yakola ne buyitiŋŋana nga awa incident ez'enjawulo abawagizi be oba abantu abamuwagira abazze battibwa mu nzitta ey'ekisaazi oba mu nzitta ekitamulujja. Yakumenyera Yasini Kawuma, nakumenyera Dani Kyeyune, nakumenyera Rita, nakumenyera Kibalama gwe baabuzaawo edda, nakumenyera omwana we Nateete, nakumenyera omusajja Asimayanga waawa. Rafule yamenya incident z'abantu nga 8 ku 10. Big Fish ekindeesa olwaleero zize kubeera nga mbabuusa n'okubalaga the other side bapolitician gye batabalaga oba the other side bannaddiini ab'enjawulo gye batakoonako yeeriwa. Ka episode kaleero kawanvumuuko katono wabula bw'oba olina mukwano gwo ng'ali mu poliisi muganda wo oba kyaliwo ng'omumanyi wa poliisi tomwinaako buzibu mutaginge mu kavidiyo kano oba funa linki eno ogimuweereze ku WhatsApp oba ka downloading oba kansabe nkakuwa okamuweereze lwansonga yeetaaga okulaba kavidiyo kano. Nkatandise kankatandike bwe nti
The two police officers were shot and killed on Thursday night at around 8:30 p.m. along Spencon Road, Chiza Zone in Kampala's Kawempe Division. The two policemen, known as Vincent Abyareme and Ambroso Team, were attached to Kawempe Police Station.
True, two of our officers were murdered last night, brutally assassinated by yet to be identified criminals.
The gunmen are suspected to have trailed the police officers for a while as they were patrolling the area.
Abapoliisi bo baadde ku bigere ne abadde baba following ndoza badde bagenda babagoberera mpola mpola baludde ndoza nga babagoberera.
For most of Friday morning, police investigators could be seen gathering evidence at the crime scene. Some of the bullets fired at the policeman hit a water pipe and some nearby houses. A number of residents narrowly survived getting shot. Police spokesperson Emilian Kaima says investigations into circumstances surrounding the shooting have already started.
Unfortunately, guns were also stolen by the same assailants, which is an indication that possibly they wanted the guns and the officers had to be killed for them to access the guns.
The bodies of the policemen were last night taken to Mulago Hospital for postmortem. This is the second attack in which police officers have been killed by armed robbers in Kawempe division in the recent months. Last year, armed thugs shot dead 2 officers and took their guns as they were escorting a confectionery truck that was collecting money from clients. Ivan Chimuchigozi, NTV.
Simba wakati nkuwemuka fact check kayala. Simba wakati nkuwemuka fact check kayala. Obutambi obuze bukolebwa bannabyabufuzi ne bannaddiini balaga nti nno poliisi essa abantu ebamalawo. Naye bwe babuuza nti baani bakumenyera abantu 4 bwe baggwayo ne bagamba n'abalala bangi nnyo. Naye nze big fish olwaleero nkuleetedde clips ez'enjawulo lwansonga nti bano abasajja tebayinza zoogerako, tebayinza zibalaga, naye nze ngenda kuzibalaga. Mbaleetedde incidents ezisoba mu 100 ng'abantu ab'enjawulo batta abapoliisi, ng'abantu ab'enjawulo batta ab'amagye. Ne mutabimanya na kubimanya lwansonga bannabyabufuzi tebagenda byogerako, bagenda kusinga kwogera ku sijuyo omwana poliisi yatomedde omuntu n'afa, poliisi yatomedde omuwagizi wange, poliisi yatomedde omuwagizi wange n'afa. Kumbe oluusi n'abawagizi be bamutomedde. Sigaana yes, bwe wabanga waliyo omuntu ne bwabeera omu nga poliisi yamutta mu malala, yamutta egenderedde, obanga yamutta mu bukyamu, kiba kikyamu. Era yenna yakikola aba alina okuleetebwa under the book, aba alina okuleetebwa under the law. Naye ate tekitegeeza nti olw'okuba waliyo owa LDU eyakola ensobi n'afayalinga just like that natta omuntu, tekitegeeza nti abapoliisi n'amagye n'aba LDU bonna babimbu bassa abantu babamazeewo. Saagala mistake z'abantu 4-5 za kesi z'abantu 4-5 zikulowoozese nti nno the whole force eri rotten nfu. Lwansonga nti bambi basajja battu nabo gye bali battibwa enkya n'eggulo ate nga be bakyasinze. Abapoliisi abaakattibwa mu myaka 3 emabega bangi nnyo okusinga bannabyabufuzi abali battiddwa bukyanga Museveni awamba. Naye temuyinza kukimanya. Lwaki? Lwansonga nti omu bw'atyo opposition bamujubisa nnyo ne bamalaga nti poliisi etta abantu bamalawo, amagye gassa abantu gabamalawo, bannange. Nze mbaleetedde incidents 10. Wa poliisi baamusse ne batwala emmundu. Basoose kutta wa poliisi ne balyoka babba. Basoose kukola bati ne bamutta. Abapoliisi 14 battiddwa. Tulakkalira njagala tubirabe mu kusembamu. We need to put some respect ku basajja n'abakyala abatukuuma. Respect men and women in the uniform. Kambongereyo kati olwo nkatandise.
The head of police flying squad in Mukono district, Rengo Muhozi, died on spot, and his colleague, only identified as Abe, breathed his last as he was being rushed to hospital. Eyewitnesses explained that the Ipsum car, registration number UAT 219Q, in which the 5 flying squad officers were traveling in as they ran after the suspected thugs,
I've got bad news where one of the policemen in the Ginger Taxi Parker police post, called Tanga George, was killed unconditionally, and this is suspected to be the street kids whom this policeman had captured this morning while on their mission from stealing. They had stolen a iron bus, and on bringing them to the police post, one of them had a panga in his trousers, and he pulled out a panga. Definitely he cut the policeman to death. There are a lot of...
We have lost 3 people, 1 civilian, then 1 police officer. The 2 civilians were suspected to have been killed, and when the police came to arrest the situation, unfortunately, we also lost him.
The whole incidents came as a result of assuming that there is witchcraft that's being practiced in Rugoba, that is in Mwani district. So we got intelligence that there are people who are planning to do mob justice to one who is being reported to be practicing witchcraft.
The police officers had nothing to do with the death. They had come to protect lives. Unfortunately, we ended up losing 1 because of mob action. And investigations have already begun.
The police post has just a lamp for a source of light. The attackers used this to their advantage, sneaked in and attacked the 2 officers who were on duty. Eyewitness accounts indicate that the thugs demanded for the keys to the armory. When the officers refused to relinquish them, they were attacked with machetes, killing Geoffrey Bala, the officer in charge of the Criminal Investigations Department. The other, Sarah Achan, a sergeant, was left for dead.
Which gives an impression that the intention of these people was to steal our guns. These people showed great resilience because they never surrendered the keys to them, and indeed they remain heroes as I speak now.
The post is allocated 6 guns. 4 of these were in the hands of the officers assigned to guard other places in the town council. 1 has not been accounted for. Another officer, Edgar Tuzire, who had the 6th gun, was sleeping in one of the cars throughout the...
Eyewitnesses narrate that the assailant had called Isiko on phone, and as the 2 interacted, the assailant took out a gun and shot him dead from behind.
The
incident happened at around 8 p.m. Isiko had been chatting with his colleagues, seated outside a shop along Kaliro Road in Uganda town. The witnesses say that after he shot the policeman, the man jumped into a waiting car that sped off.
Yasoka yakuba ku nerindi era ku supermarket yaba supermarket barumuka beigala awo musade yatambula ale akamotoka akavuire numa kaboti kali kubitawo awo gatubulire kutitege nakabe gagemye.
The officer in charge of criminal investigations at Iganga police station, Matthew Otu, said they are investigating the motive of the gunman.
What we want from the people is let them come up with any information which may lead us to the arrest of these people, or to identify the people who did it.
Isiko, who was described by his colleagues as very brave and adept in foiling robberies, was buried in Namutumba.
Police in Uganda on Sunday said 3 soldiers were lynched by an angry mob near the border with the Democratic Republic of Congo after accusing them of being criminals. Local official Peter Debele told AFP that, quote, investigations are underway to establish the circumstances under which the soldiers were killed, end of quote. He added that 3 firearms were recovered at the scene of the attack and 8 people have been arrested in connection with the killing of the soldiers. According to him, the soldiers were arrested about 8 kilometers from the post by residents for interrogation, adding that the soldiers handed over the firearms, but the crowd lynched them, claiming they had come to steal from them. Ugandan police spokeswoman for the region, Josephine Agusia, told AFP among the dead soldiers was a unit commander attached to the border post, Corporal Julius Kubom. The region between Uganda and DR Congo is experiencing high levels of crime due to the porosity of the border crossed by armed groups to steal and attack locals.
The assailants attacked the fuel station in the wee hours, killing Matthias Mawanda, whose body was found lying on a mattress with deep wounds. The police Southern Region spokesperson Paul Kangave says the robbers stole about 2 million shillings.
They pierced him with some sharp objects and they managed to enter the office of the manager. They took away money that we are told is worth 2 million, and they also managed to go outside the pumps and took fuel from there, almost close to 30 liters.
We have been having communication that a certain Mark, Toyota Mark II, is always involved in robberies. So we have been on hand. So this morning we got a tip that they were having a mission towards Namali area. So we got prepared and headed for that place. So while on exchange, it was very unfortunate we lost our own one, Detective Sergeant Chemonges, who has passed on. And those ones in the hospital, they have already been attended, and we are hopeful they will be able to get better.
Wabaddewo enkaayana ku siteegi ya takisi ezikolera ku luguudo lwa Kampala-Masaka ng'abavuzi ba takisi ab'Essembabule n'ab'e Masaka bakaayanira amakubo mwe balina okuyita. Mu kacyankalano kano musajja mukulu Juma Kankwasa abangi gwe bamanyi nga Musiraamu mu paaka empya waafumitidde abakozi babiri aba KCCA ekiso, omu ku kifuba ate omulala mu bulago. Dani Nwabeine akola ng'omwogezi wa KCCA agamba omusajja ono alaze obwalumira mwoyo n'afumita banne ekiso era nga aba KCCA babadde bamunoonya okumala akabanga yali yalangirirwa nti afudde.
Bw'akwatiddwa era n'addamu n'awuba omukono ekiso n'akisogga omukozi omulala munnaffe owa enforcement, awo n'akwatibwa.
Abatusibbwako obulabe kuliko Lameka Mutebi akulira abakwatisa amateeka mu KCCA.
Tension had built up for weeks in Kasese district, and things came to a halt on Sunday, the 27th of November, when the army attacked the palace or Buhishra of Rwenzururu King Charles Wesley Mumbere. Officials say there had been a series of attacks on security establishments by people security claims were royal guards. Perhaps the biggest irony in the Kasese conflict was the manner in which unarmed civilians allegedly killed armed officers using rudimentary tools like pangas and knives. Maliba Police Post is located 17 kilometers from Kasese town on the foot of Nuyo Hill. 3 police officers here were chopped to death on 26th of November. These were the OC station Joseph Kulenzangwa, the officer in charge of criminal investigations Richard Eli, and a regular police officer Samuel Musana. Given the dicey security situation in the area at the moment, some of the eyewitnesses who were at the police station at the time of the attack requested that we protect their identity so they may speak freely. This man, who we shall only call Bob, and another witnessed the gruesome murder of the police officers.
When I was at the police post Maliva, I saw a group of royal guards coming, carrying empty cement bags with some pangas and knives. They stormed the court guard. I informed the OC, Sergeant Kule, to go and stop them, but he did not adhere. He looked at the issue of, because they are tribal mate, that they won't do any harm. So when they come nearer to him, they ordered him to hand over guns to them.
When those people came, they are now playing their magic. After magic, they go to the soil. They ate the soil. After eating the soil, the man told them, do the work. Then they started cutting now. We shot. No one is falling down. We said, that's a withdraw. They all said, you people, you withdraw. So as we were withdrawing, the OCID was coming downward from that pole. We fall down. Then they cut him off. After cutting him, they came following us. We also ran. The OC who was there also, they followed him up the other top. They killed him there. So one of our colleagues ran up to the side of the river where they met him and killed him from there, and they took his gun.
Maliba Police Post is located 17 kilometers from Kasese town on the foot of.
The death toll of policemen in the Kasese district west of Uganda is steadily rising. 14 policemen and 41 militants were killed during fighting between the police and the royal guard of the town of Rwenzururu. A joint patrol of the Ugandan police and army was traveling in Kasese, some 300 kilometers west of Kampala near the border of the Democratic Republic of Congo, when it was attacked by members of the Royal Guard. The fighting began when the attackers launched an artisanal grenade that injured a soldier. The patrol fired back and killed 4 assailants, a fight which provoked an even bigger one. Though isolated, there have been reports of killings of police in the area for reasons unknown to Africa News.
Olw'obufunda bw'obudde ate ng'ebyobalaganyina bingi, kano ka episode nakatumye Respect Men in Uniform, naye eno ye party esoose nkasazeemu. Poliisi bwe naaba esimye ekyenkoze n'amagye, nja kuzza party 2 ate mbalage aba UPDF, kuba kati nsinze kwesiba nnyo ku bapoliisi, mbalage aba UPDF abafudde be basse. Babattire Somalia, babattire Congo, babattire Southern Sudan, babattira luddawa. Naye nga kyonna kye bakola, they are trying to protect us, the civilians. Abatalina ne kyetumanyi, just tuli wano twogera bwogezi, olw'okubanga Muzaata agambye nti amagye gatta abantu gabamalawo, n'otwala ekyo nti amagye gatta abantu gabamalawo. Kumbe basajja battu ate be batta babamalawo. Ashibakato ge manya gange, nkugambye, I'm a big fish in a small pond. To all the men and women outside there fighting for us, nemuttibwa behind the enemy lines, nemuttibwa nga muli ku duty ey'okuprotectinga nze, n'abo n'oli naawe, I salute you and I respect you. Kyemukola. As of now, kamba sibulire wano, part 2 egenda kujja kijja kusinziira. Bwe naba bangambye nti kyewakoze kyakabi, leta part 2 nga nje tebanangamba nti byewakoze temuli, nga tugenda ku lugambo olwa bulijjo. As of now, I'm signing out, and my name is Ashbakato. Big Fish, those are just my code names.